All right, y'all. So let's just talk about some behind the scenes stuff. What's it really like to create content on YouTube and have a full time job? Full time job, full time family, all of that. Like I've got other responsibilities. Like I don't do YouTube full time. So what is it really like, especially being someone who's new versus someone who's been doing it for several years already? To be honest, surprise, surprise, it's hard. It's not easy. I'm just saying that if you're thinking of doing it, I just want to be completely honest. Full disclosure, it's challenging. Not in the ways that you may think. I mean, there's always the basic stuff like coming up with content ideas, scripting, figuring out what you're going to say, then recording, and then editing and uploading and all that stuff. That would be the case no matter what. I'm talking about other stuff like finding time, being committed to the task when you have other responsibilities. Like, I've got to go clean up the kitchen. I have a daughter who wants to play all the time. It's just the wonderful benefit of having small children. They always want to play. They just do. And there is the mental tug of wanting to complete something for yourself, but then being pulled by your children, your spouse, that kind of thing. So that's the part that makes it really difficult. If I was selfish, this would be easier because I'd just be like, you know what, forget anything that you have going on. I'm doing this because this is what's important to me. And one of the things that I'm not about is going on these journeys or learnings or quests, challenges, that kind of thing, and just forgetting about all my other responsibilities. That's seems to be very popular in certain spaces. So that makes it challenging. So I want you to know it's hard, but not for the reasons you think. I will say this, it helps and it gets a lot easier if your spouse is on board. And let me say this, it seems like if you're a man and your wife is on board, it gets easier. If you're a woman and your husband is not on board, it happens anyway. So men become successful. I'm just gonna make a generalization. Men become successful because of their spouse, and women become successful in spite of their spouse. Like I'm just saying. So there's just things I'm just sharing. I'm just saying that it is helpful because since my wife is on board with what I'm doing, it makes it easier for me to go and do these things. Meaning, take time away from being present with the family, with her, with my daughter, with my boys, to record a video. That's one thing. The other thing that you can do, which would be easier, and I haven't done this yet. I'm trying to get to it. Is you can batch videos, meaning you can have a day or some time to record a bunch of videos, and then you can edit those videos and then schedule those videos to be published all in one day rather than taking time away on a daily basis the way that I'm doing. The reason being is just it's better for me. I'm developing habit, getting to the practice of recording. As I do more recording, the easier it gets. The easier it is for me to speak coherently about a specific topic and go through my points and close. Like as I do that more often, I get better at it. My experience is just in one little time I tried to do some type of batching, I didn't feel like I was getting a rep. Kind of like if I was at the gym and if I could work out one day and do all my working out for one day, it's not as good as if I could work out, one day workout, day off, another day to work out, day off, that kind of thing. But that is another way that you could possibly get easier as far as the time the time needed to create content. The other thing I want to point out is the mental drain that occurs. Sometimes I've gotten home and I just don't feel like it because I'm just drained. Something happens to my energy. Maybe it's something I ate. Maybe it's the traffic. Maybe, I don't know. I just don't, I'm not feeling energized or up to record a video. And then that ties into, you don't do things when you feel good, you do things because you have to do them. Or that's the part of creating a habit, developing discipline. So there's that piece right there where it's because of my frequency of recording, I get more into a habit type thing rather than batching. So I'm going to wait till I feel great and then I can have all that energy to record. And I will also say that once you complete recording, there is a sense of validation, a sense of satisfaction. Actually, let me just take it back. There is halfway a sense of validation, a sense of satisfaction. The validation and satisfaction comes once the video is up and scheduled to be published. Like I've already done my edits and I have now scheduled it to be published. And this ties back to another point. Depending on the type of content that you're looking at creating, you want to first figure out your posting schedule, what your goal of posting schedule is, if you're batching, if you're not batching, and then depending on the type of content you're going to be creating, what kind of editing process you're going to be using. And then are you a skilled editor? Because there's that other learning curve involved in editing, and there's different. You can go from, if you have a Apple product, you can do iMovie, which is on every Apple product, I think. So that's a good place to start, and you can move into, I think, what's called Final Cut Pro, which is very complex and detailed and so on and so forth. If you're using CapCut, I'm not using CapCut. I know I'm not using CapCut if you watch any of my videos, just because there's some terms of service type things that I'm not so cool with. And really don't want to get bogged down in any kind of editing. What I am using Descript, just so to be transparent. I'm using Descript. It's a different editing type process where you can edit based on, it's almost like you edit using a Word document. It makes it really easy to add in B-roll and that kind of thing. And I am nowhere near close to mastering it. I'm just happy because it makes my process a lot fast. It's a fast edit, and it could be better. I mean, it's a process, but that's something else. So if you are creating content and you wanted to have edited very well, that's going to take long. It's going to add into your process. I know initially when I was just recording, doing some minor edits, like just editing the beginning and end and uploading it, that was very short. Now that I'm adding like some B-roll footage, that's the footage when I'm talking and you see some sort of element, animation, or some video depicting what I'm talking about come on the screen. That's what B-roll is. I say that because I didn't know what that was, so maybe you don't know. But yeah, so adding B-roll, that increased the time it takes for me to edit. And as I get more complex in what I'm editing and how I edit, that'll add more and more time to how long it takes for me to complete a video. And all that time that it adds into it is just time that takes away from other things like being present with your family. So those are some things to be aware of. Yes, you have the normal stuff. Okay, let's recap real quick. It's hard. Anything you add to what you're already doing is going to be hard, at least initially. So it is challenging, not for the basic reasons of ideas, scripting, and editing, but more so being away from my family, the mental drain that it takes. You have to be present when you're coming up with content. Those are the two major things. The other thing is, depending on how you're going, what your publishing schedule is, you can do batching, you could do daily. Mind you, the more frequent you are uploading, generally speaking, the less complex your editing is going to be. Or you just have more time. Like if I had all day, then I could just record and then edit for hours and then upload it. And that just has to do with what type of editing software you're using. Understand that all editing software has a learning curve depending on how complex it is. I'm using Descript again. It's not that much of a learning curve, although I am curious about what it looks like if I was to master. What does it look like me as a basic beginner? If I was a master at Descript, what does that look like in terms of the editing capabilities? But for right now, it works out great. Be careful in what you do. I understand again, I'm not using CapCut, but I understand CapCut is really good. I don't know if I should be recommending stuff or making suggestions for things that I'm not using, but it looks like it'd be fun to use CapCut is what I'm saying. I don't use it because of the terms of service. I feel like a little, it seems like they want a lot for you to use their software. Mind you, this is the same company that owns TikTok. So, do what you want with that. So those are the two main points, and I can't remember my third point, but I don't want to say it again, but I will say this: anything is possible if you want to do it. And so yes, you can create. I have a full life. I have a full-time family. I have a full-time job. I have responsibilities. This is not my main thing, meaning I am not a full-time content creator or a YouTuber or that kind of thing. And there are other platforms are easier to create content on because they're not as three-dimensional. Scripting, reading, producing, and the visuals, audio, that kind of thing. So I hope that helps. I'll probably be doing more videos like this behind the scenes, or just letting you know, like, wait, what is it really like? And if you've been here the whole time, I appreciate that, because this is not polished. Trying to just be as raw and honest as possible and as transparent as I possibly can be. Thanks for watching. Again, take it easy and enjoy. Have a great day. Bye.